Good morning to all, and welcome to the one more session on our Primavera free workshop. So, today's topic is basically we are going to talk about the project cost control in the construction industries. Okay. So, before getting into the topic in detail, obviously, let me just give a couple of slides just to give an introduction about image graphics. Then, my panelist Anant Nag and Srinivasan can push to show you the presentation on the same in detail for you. Okay. So, let me start show the presentation on the first starting with the company. Sorry, corporate profile. Okay, image graphics. We are a software solution providing company. We deal with the applications, the softwares, mostly related to the enterprise solutions as well as the products which helps you to deal with from the your concept to till the handing over. Of course, we started in 1996. We are a Dubai-based company. We have offices in apart from UAE, we have offices in India as well as in Canada. India, we have a big setup, about like 8 offices across the country to cover it. Of course, Chennai is the headquarters for Indian operation, and in Dubai, in UAE, you have the office in Dubai and Abu Dhabi too. Of course, to know more about our company, you can visit our website image-graphics.com, and so you can get more information on the same. Coming to the our solutions, what we are dealing with. So this is one of our divisions called enterprise solution, of course. So the enterprise solution divisions handles the products which helps you to take care of your construction projects starting from tendering till the handing over, of course. So on the tendering stage for doing the cost estimation, bid evaluation, bid management, so we can push and use a product like cost OS. Cost OS is going to be helpful for you to do the complete bid management for us. It's multi-currency handling, or you are going to take care of your bid evaluations, code comparisons, and by if you get a basic a JPEG or DWG or any of the drawings from that, you can push and generate the bill of material automatically. And based on the bill of material, you can assign that unit price so that you can push and get the complete estimation product from the same. So it has the option to implement as enterprise version so that multiple estimator can work on a projects and they can push and collect the information and can compare it, of course. And moving forward, the capital planning and portfolio management. So the any owners who would like to know the multiple projects which they have, means which project they want to invest their money, which one they want to take it priority, what is the benefit, what is the return on investment which they are going to get it, if they want to do some estimation, if they want to do some evaluations. So obviously for the complete portfolio point of view, we have a couple of options. One is that Oracle has a Primavera Unifier. Unifier does this job, the portfolio manager, as well as on the cloud. There is one more product called Oracle Primavera Cloud Portfolio Management. So that also in a position to do the same, of course. So by using these two products, you can evaluate, and it has the options for you to give some ideas. So if you can take ideas from multiple people, which you can take that information input in, and you can start do the evaluations based on the same, of course. So Unifier and Oracle Primavera Cloud have the options for you to do the capital planning as a portfolio management. So once you decide know which projects you are going, and when you are awarding the projects and you are continuing, then obviously the first step is basically to start do the project planning. So enterprise project planning. So the product what we have obviously is Primavera P6 EPPM. It's a pretty stable and long time used in the market. Of course, the cloud version is also available right now. That's called Oracle Primavera Cloud. So if you want to take care of your scheduling, resourcing, all these things which you can push to perform by using P6 EPPM. Obviously, the EPPM, it's take care of mostly the duration to control your time and to monitor and to forecast when the project possibility to get completed, something like that. But when it comes to the cost control, our today's topics, then obviously you need to have that enterprise project cost control area where we will now push to do by using the product like Oracle, Primavera Unifier, or Acronix also has a model on the project cost control, of course. So what we are going to show right now, it's on the Unifier side. So the project cost control, it's going to be taken care by complete for this. So this is again enterprise editions where you can portion to have the possibility to link with your ERP system as well as from the P6 for the durations, so that you can portion to compare the actuals, what's happened, the data from the ERP, and then the actual durations which has happened in the P6, and do the complete budgeting, cost controlling, and all stuffs by using this, a project cost control model Unifier for you. Okay. Anyway, that's we are going to discuss in detail today. um, we have the engineering design, so that's on that, your drawing preparations, analysis, all this stuff. So we have another divisions. So that's the hexagon for doing the 3D modeling analysis of piping pressure vessels on the oil and gas side mostly. And then Autodesk is on the BIM, on the construction side, for creating the, your building modeling, drawing preparations, all these stuffs which we can push into all these things. And coming to the construction field management, when you start building, when you are executing the projects, during that time, if you wants to do the project progress capture on a mobile app, on a proper way of approach, then obviously, the Oracle Primavera Cloud, it's going to be helpful. Actinics is a field option which helps you to take care of your, inspection, QA, QC, and capture all this information related to the same, and then issue management. If there is a issue, that issue is going to delay your projects, and he wants to, capture the issue and to track the issue and to complete the issues, to report it back to the system, so that it can be clearly indicated, because of this is how is a possible delays happened in the projects, to evaluate and accordingly can proceed further. So all these things which we can do in the Actinics. Academics obviously is going to be helpful not only on this construction field, construction management, then for your handing over and for complete document management, which we can push into use it. Academics. Academics is, it's a cloud-based solution, so it's EDMS tool. It's pretty good, very popular in this region. So you can push to do all these things. So if you see that end to end, from the tendering till the handing over for the complete project requirement, so we will be having options for you to support on the same. Okay. With this note, so we will get into the main stream of the discussion for today. That's a project cost control on the in the construction industries. Before getting into that, I just want to launch a small poll. So just trying to understand, the current way how you are using it. So do you perform the project cost control right now? If you are performing, then what are these options? The ERP itself has a small options, the options for doing the project cost control, or it's a manual, normal Excel sheets, emails, and other steps, or any other specific tool. If you have, then you can select this option. Some people believes that P6, the cost will be fine, so probably they might be doing such way also, I believe. So that's when this action has been given. The poll started, and then you have another 15 seconds to go. Okay, another 5 seconds to go. All right, team, I'm going to close down this poll now. This is the results. You can see that now. So using ERP, it's about like 22%. Manual, it's on the higher side, 60%. And then other tools is about like 11%, and then P6 usage is 7. Okay. All right, team. Then now it's a time for me to transfer to the my colleagues. Anand, please take over on these things. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on project cost control in construction industry. So I am Anand Nag. I will be continuing the webinar. So before going into the presentation, first let me tell you what we will be seeing on this today on the in this presentation. Right. First, we will be seeing what is cost control, what is the cost management, what is the cycle of this cost management. Then we will be seeing what are the current challenges that are faced by construction industry. Uh, then we'll see what is cost control solutions, what they are using, how they are doing now, and how you can leverage Primevera solutions to automate your cost control process as well as your project related process, and how can you get visibility into your project financial health as well as your project's estimates and forecast as well. So coming to cost management, the cost management includes process such as your estimation, your budgeting, your finance, your cost control, uh, controlling your cost, right? So it starts from estimating, then your cost, then your budgeting. Budgeting will have your budgets, budget changes, budget transfers in the controls, as well as your contracts, your POs, your invoices and payments, right? These are all part of our cost management. But normally when we talk about cost management in construction industry, currently most of them, they'll be saying they are using ERPs, or they will be using P6. But when you take P6, you in P6 we are not doing cost management. We are only doing the resource cost. We are allocating the resource, we are getting the cost, and we are assigning the actuals, and we are getting the actual cost. That's it. Apart from that, all other cost related process such as issuing purchase orders or contracts, invoices against these contracts, as well as your payments for these invoices, everything is tracked outside of P6, not in P6, right? In P6 we are managing our resource cost, and it is very difficult for sometimes to manage cost in P6 for hundreds of or thousands of activities. Coming to the project cost management, we have our first will be our planned cost management. So first we need to, or each organization need to identify how they will determine their cost, whether how they will be estimating the cost, what are the tools they will be using, how they will be managing their budgets, right? How they will be monitoring these budgets and capturing the actuals, and controlling the changes that will be happening across the project. Then your estimate costs. So for getting a clear correct budget, we need to have correct estimation tools. So once we have the proper estimation tools, we can estimate what are the resources, what are the efforts that are required to complete that project. Then based on our estimates, we will determine our budget, and we will agree upon with our stakeholders the total budget of the project. Then controlling the cost. So once you have determined the budget, now we once you start the project, we will be accumulating the actuals, right? Once we start accumulating the actuals, we need to identify how we are doing in terms of cost, whether what is the budget versus actuals, what is cost overruns, for how it is happening, what is our forecast, and how the changes are happening in your project. Then this is cost control data flow diagram from PMI. So for cost control process, the inputs are project management plan, where cost management plan, cost baseline, project documents, lessons learned, then your determined budget, as well as work performance and organizational assets. So then as an output, we will get our work performance information. So we will monitor how we are performing our work, what is the cost impact that it has on our projects, as well as we have to have an integrated change control system, where we will discuss on the change control in detail. And we need to update our project management plan, such as our cost management plan, with actuals that we are incurring during the project, right? As well as based on our actuals, what will be our forecast for the upcoming months or upcoming duration of the project. Then we'll update the project documents, such as base of estimation, cost estimation, and lessons learned registry. The cost control cycle diagram. So like I was telling, first step is identifying resources, so resource planning. So first we once we get the project, we will be breaking down into work breakdown structure, then into activities. Then we will be identifying what are the resources that are required for your project. Then based on our prices for these resources and efforts, we will be estimating what will be the cost of this project. Then cost budgeting. Once we have our estimates, then we might be keeping some contingencies for these costs, as well as if you are a general contractor, you are submitting a quote to a to to a to a owner, then you will be adding your project your project cost also, and profit margins also. Then you will have, once we have our budget, then comes the cost control. So you have your budget, then you want to control the cost to complete the project within that budget, right? So for controlling the cost, we need to identify all the changes that will be happening in the project. We know that in construction project, the changes are inevitable. So we have to have the, we will have many changes coming during within the duration of our project. And the cost control uh, is very important. We need to identify, we need to plan on the process, how we are capturing our actuals, how we are issuing our contracts, how we are issuing our POs, and how we are tracking the invoices against these POs and contracts, right? And also, what is the current project health, what is budget versus actual. And when we have integrated cost and schedule, how this cost impact, cost or changes are impacting my schedule, right? So all these things, the controls, the change control, everything needs to come in the cost control. So then we will be complete, we'll be able to complete our project within budget and within time. So, what are the current challenges that are faced in construction industries related to cost control? So, multiple versions of truth. So, when you have uh, your project manager will have an Excel, your project scheduler will have an Excel, your purchasing department will have a different Excel, right? So everyone will have their own data, and everyone will be relying on their own data and keep on for keeping it updated. And this is very prone to human errors, and there are multiple versions of truth. Let's say there is a change order that is coming in, that is sent through an email, and the project controller missed that email, and he will not be able to update that in his data or in his sheet. Then when we see what is the project financial health, a project manager will have a different values or his budget versus actuals, and your cost controller will have different versions. So there will be multiple versions of truth. Uh, then your disconnected schedule and cost. So your schedule is generally managed in Primevera, and your cost is generally managed in your cost control solution. So when you are having to, when you don't have integrated project cost control solution, you will not be able to track uh, you will not be able to track any cost or schedule impact that might be happening because of any changes that might be coming in. Then inconsistent standards, inefficient systems and process. So most of the times we will not have any systems in place to perform this cost control. And also we don't design our process beforehand until we face any challenges. So there are ineffective systems, based on ineffective systems and ineffective process, we will have our schedule and cost overruns. Because of this, we will not be able to identify what is our forecast, right? And ineffective change management. So without cost control solution, you will not be able to manage your changes, which is very important in cost control solution. Effective um, effective budgeting and forecasting over timeline, then your time and effort involved with reporting. So like I was telling, since you have multiple versions of truth, what happens to prepare a report by the MIS team, they will need to rely on so many people to get their data from. And there will be a lot of time and effort following up on the data that is coming from different people, different departments, as well as there will be a lot of human errors that will be happening. And for generating a report, people need to spend more time and effort on the preparing the reports. And getting progress data from multiple subcontractors, this is also a very big challenge in current construction industry, right? Then change management across your project. Like I was talking, the change management is very important in cost control, right? So the change management comes from change management is nothing but your PO amendments, your contract change orders, your variation orders, right? And your schedule changes. These are all the different changes that will be happening in your project. So first, we need to identify how these changes are how these changes are affecting our cost as well as schedule. And to manage your changes effectively, we have the different challenges, right? For aligning data. So, like I was telling, if you have different people having different data, and one person needs to consolidate all these data, so he needs to put in a lot of time and effort. By the time the change order has been processed or approved, right? So, we need to have aligned data as well as integrating cost and schedule, which is very important, where you need to, based on the change that is happening, what is the cost impact, what is the schedule impact, all we need to identify all these things, uh, all these things in a project cost control solution, right? Then managing the change. So if there is a change, how you are going to manage it, whether you are going to directly approve the change, or how we are going to manage the change, we need to identify that. Then disconnected environment. So all your applications are disconnected, and you don't have a consolidated report or visibility into your project, right? To effectively manage your changes across project, we need to weigh in the project change against the entire project and what impact that it has on your project, as well as track the change origins. So where is this change coming from? Why is this change coming? Whether we have done, if it is budget change, why this budget change is coming? Did we do any mistake during the estimation part, right? And we need to identify what is the reason we are getting this change. Uh, and we need a strong solution to manage these impacts that it has on cost and schedule. For to identify and manage these impacts, we need to have a strong solution in place where you can track all these changes as well as manage these changes, right? So only when you have the ability to track and manage the change, only then you will identify if there is any mistake or any mistake that happened during the estimation. We need to identify why this happened. What is the reason this happened? Then we need to make it as lessons learned. Then we need to apply these lessons learned in your future project so that you will have your better project budget outlook, right? And you will be able to complete your project without any budget changes. So we need to keep track of all these changes, and also we also the lessons learned from these changes when you're managing these changes. Then the system should be robust and flexible enough to support multiple projects, right? So this is how we can effectively manage changes across your projects. So coming to project control solution, right? So when we talk about project control solution is part of people's process technology system that provide operational project implementation of project related business process that work with other systems as well as such as your supply chain, HR and finance, etc., right? So the project control solution is this uh, part of the people process and technology system, right? So when we have a project control solution, it should be able to perform or automate these processes which we have listed here, such as planning, scheduling, estimates, budgets, actuals, contractor subcontract relationships, RFIs, requests, change orders, then work authorization, submittals, transmittals, design and other documents, risk issues, track communication such as minutes, actions, right? And uh, collecting progress reports on daily basis, reviewing these daily, weekly reports from contractors, subcontractors, as well as publishing this data to so that it will be available for project manager, portfolio manager, and program manager, right? So to know uh, what is the visibility of your project. And you will have so many other process that you will be wanting in your project control solution, right? So currently the project control solution in construction industry, they are using ERP systems and spreadsheets and home built database systems, right? ERP systems are are very good at your financials, your account payable, account receivable, your general ledger, supply chain, inventory management, HR. So these are all it is very good at all these things, but it is not an optimized tool for your project management and controls tool, right? So a project engineer or cannot go into an ERP and create purchase orders, because the purchasing will be taken care by purchase department, right? The finance invoices and payments will be taken care by finance department. So when you don't have access, these ERP systems are not optimized to project management and control system. And the the spreadsheet and home built database system. So project controllers work to create the systems. If there are any big projects, they will be able to create some small solutions to be used for these projects, as well as they will have an Excel sheet or the spreadsheets what they will be using to track all the changes happening, and they need to update manually every day everything. And the access of this spreadsheet is a problem, as well as updating. They are prone to human errors, and if there is some issue with the Excel sheet, all the data will be lost, right? And this is only accessed by the project controllers. These are owned and run by project controllers, and these are not scalable for multiple projects. So if you have, let's say that you are having multiple projects that are running, you need to have different spreadsheet that will be available for different people, and you cannot consolidate these, and you cannot get the report, and there is lot of manual work that needs to be done to able to generate a report from these spreadsheets, right? And ERP systems, one more thing I want to say is, so when you have ERP system, the different process are managed, which they are very good for the enterprise version, but they are not good for project controls, right? We cannot track project controls using ERPs. They can be done at up to some extent. So, so to address this issue, what we need to do, we need to modernize our project control solution, right? So we need a system which can plan, where you can plan, analyze, and track the changes, where you can control it. So for modernizing controls, you have to automate as much as you can. All the process I have shown you, so we have to automate as much as we can. So project controls, cost controls, and project controls uh, is not only your uh, is not only um, your cost management. Apart from that, you also have your project delivery management also in place. So we need to automate all these features as well. Then use configurable solution to manage process information across the project lifecycle, right? So each project is unique. Every project has their own challenges and their own merits, right? So we need to uh, and these projects, each unique project will have different requirements. So these systems what we are implementing or what we are adopting should be configurable, right? So that it can accommodate future changes as well. When a company is maturing, when they are improving their process, this system should be configurable enough to address those requirements that are coming in future, and implement open solution that connects to other system for project wide insights, right? So it should be connected to other systems as well. Today's solutions are more complete and user friendly. What we can expect from the modernized project control solution is instant visibility into project status and health, project-wide access to right information by the right people at the right time, an integrated system on a single platform to understand how scope and changes impact project cost. right? So these are the benefits that we will be getting when we modernize our project cost control solutions. So coming to Primevera cost control solution. So now we will see how you can leverage your Primevera, I leverage Primevera cost control solution to do your cost controls effectively, track all the changes, do your get insights and project visibility into your project. So we are talking about Primevera Unifier project control solution, where it is a completely configurable platform where you can digitalize and automate all your project related business process, and you can create your own business process uh, based on your project requirements as well as your organization requirements. And this has in the it also has your uh, portfolio management. We can do portfolio management, you can do your contracts, cost project cost control, bid procurement management, and value management, device design coordination, and document management. So all these things can be done using Primevera Unifier project cost controls, right? So integrated project management solution. So when we talk about Primevera, we have this is an integrated cost control solution where you have project financials that will become that where you can track all your cost, budgets, estimates, forecast, everything can be tracked. Your contract management is procurement. You can manage your procurement, contract design, and cost control, schedule management, resource management, document management, reports. We can generate multiple reports and alerts, as well as we can integrate this easily with your ERP, as well as it also has mobile devices where when you assign certain tasks to certain people, they can use their mobile devices to update the task status back from the site. So how we are managing or how we are controlling the cost in Unifier. So in Unifier, we have a rules engine, right? So for example, these rules engines can be customized, and these engine can be configured according to any organization or any project requirements. Let me take an example here. We have a budget, we have commitment is nothing but your POs and contracts that you will be issuing throughout the project, as well as your spends is nothing but your invoices, and disbursement means your payments, what you made against these invoices. So we have a we can create, we have the basic rules such as these commitments cannot be greater than, commitment is nothing, your POs and contract cannot be greater than your budgeted value, and your spends, your invoices cannot be greater than your commitments, then your payments cannot be greater than your invoices, right? This kind of rule engine will be available, and this allows you to control all your cost. So even though they exceed some of the cost, they want to create more PO, or they want to do any PO amendment against a specific budget code, they will not be able to do it because system will not allow them. They need to go for a budget change. Then the project manager will know, okay, so they have already exceeded the budget, so what is the reason for this? So they can record and inquire what is the reason for changing the budget, as well as they can track all these changes using the budget changes, right? Coming to budget management, here we have initial budget. Initial budget is where the estimations that will be coming, based on the estimation we'll create our budget against the cost codes, right? And uh, this budget will be sent to an approval through a workflow. These workflows are completely configurable according to organization requirement, right? So you can configure these workflows such as, let's say that if it is up to 5 million, your finance manager can approve. If it is 10 million, then they need to go to the CFO level. If it is more than 15 million, then it need to be go to CEO. So we can build in all these kind of conditions into the workflows, as well as based on who is submitting these budgets. We can also route the workflows. We can have the different workflows as well, right? Then let's say that there are some capital projects that might be coming in. There are based on the project type also we can change the workflows. So once your initial budget is approved, and then there is some you require additional budget, then you need to go for budget change. You need to add the budget, or you want to add a budget, new budget code, budget to a new budget code. So you use budget changes to track all the budget changes that are happening in your project, as well as your budget transfers. Let's say you have estimated, you have identified risks. Based on the risk analysis, you have based on the risk analysis, uh, you have estimated some contingency budget. When these risk occurs, you want to utilize that contingency budget. But when you have contingency budget, instead of simply issuing purchase orders, you can transfer this contingency budget to appropriate cost code where it is required, and then you can use that budget for the risk, right? So when you track all these budget changes, transfer, all these things, you will get a you can see complete visibility into your project. Then your contract management, procurement, and change management. So you can do your purchase orders, contracts, PO amendment, change orders, invoices, payments. Everything can be done from Unifier itself. No need to go send it to. When we integrate this Unifier with your existing ERP, so once the any project related purchase order is created, so first it will be get approved with it by the project team. Once everything is completed, once it is completely approved, then it will be directly created in your ERP, so that your finance team will directly process it, instead of having the manual process of asking for certain items, creating, sending it to them, and asking them to create a purchase order. We can automate this process. And also, by automating this process, you can also automate the workflow that is related to this process. And also, if once you create a purchase order, you can see what is the line items. If there are any amendments, PO amendments that happen, you can check what is the PO amendments. And also, if there are any approved amendments, you can see them. And if there are any invoices against this PO, you can see everything from a single page. Instead of going to your purchase department and asking for a report, you can see it from a single place, and you can manage and track all your changes against your project cost, right? Then cost sheet gives you complete visibility. uh, Cost sheet gives you complete visibility into your project financial health, where it will roll up all the project cost what you have recorded, such as what is your original budget, what is the changes, what is your current budget, what are the total commitments for this cost code, as well as uh, so as well as your invoices. All these things will, what is your remaining budget, you can see everything related to your project financials from a single page, which is cost sheet. So cost sheet is based on your cost breakdown structure. So we know that if you want to break, so cost breakdown structure is nothing but grouping of your cost. So let's say you have earthworks, concrete, steel, right? Cement. So these are all different categories, different cost codes that you might have in your cost sheet, right? So when you group your cost with based on your cost sheets, based on your requirements, then you can track this cost. So if you want to track this, you cannot do that against the WBS, because the WBS will be based on the activities. So you will have, let's say you have a multi-story building, you will have store floor 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. But every floor you will be using your concrete, your cement, your bricks, everything. But you want to see what is the total cost of this concrete that you are using. You will not be able to do that, right? Here you can track everything. What is the cost, how much I have used against this cost code, so to whom I am issuing this PO, and everything can be tracked from this cost sheet. Then cash flow. So based on when we integrate Unifier with your P6 and bring the schedule. We can create schedule in Unifier itself. Uh, Unifier itself. Uh, Unifier itself. But when we integrate with your Primevera P6, then we can get cash flows similar to this. Lastly, the project delivery. Apart from cost control, we have two major features in Unifier. One is project cost control. Second one is project delivery. Where in project delivery you can automate your business process such as submittals, transmittals, action items, RFIs, incident risk reports, and daily reports. Uh, all these things can be lessons learned, project closeout information. Everything can be configured or automated in Unifier, right? So now let us move to the live application and see how this Unifier works. So this is the login screen of the Unifier. Okay. So once I log in, I have two workspaces. One is company workspace and another one is uh, project workspace. Company workspace is where we will be seeing or where we'll be managing company related business process, right? So when you go to company related business process, such as so you want to see cost sheet or at company level, you want to see how what is happening in all your projects, you can see that in company level. Or you want to see funding at company level, you can see funding at company level. Or if there are any company level documents, you can store them here in the company level document manager. Okay. Then when you want to create a new project, you can create a new project using this business process company request. Then if you have any vendor, you want to pre-qualify some vendors, you can use vendor pre-qualification or vendor business process to create the vendors in the application. If let's say that you have already have vendors, then you can in your ERP we can integrate and we can bring all the vendors created from the ERP to the Unifier, right? So when you see, so this is the form looks like when you are filling a vendor detail. So this will be vendor ID, vendor name, vendor address, all these things will be tracked here. So we can also add uh, any additional fields you might require for this particular vendor. We can add a list of contacts that you might have for this particular vendor, right? So and also if there are any attachments that are related, also we can add them in the attachments tab, right? So we can have all the vendors listed here, since you might be using the same vendor for multiple projects. So this is a vendor, is a company level business process, like I was telling. So Oracle Unifier automates your all your project controls process. How it does it? So it does it based on forms and workflows. I can uh, the form is nothing but the data what you want to collect to process that particular uh, particular uh, uh, particular process, right? So here for a vendor, I require vendor ID, vendor name is mandatory, so I can keep some of the fields mandatory, and vendor address, right? And also what is the if it is e-bidding or bidding information, if they have anything, we can add it here in certificate of insurance, right? Business classification, or you can add vendor type also here, right? So all these things, so you can add vendor types such as contractor, design consultant, engineer, others. So all these things we can add it here. And also the discipline, so I can add any discipline. If the vendor belongs to any specific discipline, I can add the discipline here. So this is a form that we need to input our data into, and this will be, once I submit this will be sent through a workflow, and we need to get once the workflow is approved, the vendor record will be created in Unifier. So it completely depends on your forms and workflows, right? Your business process is nothing but your forms and workflows. And also when I go to my task, I can see if there are any pending tasks for me. I can see all the pending tasks. If there are any notification, I can see all the notifications here, right? So all these things is at the company level. Okay, now let me go to the project level. Right, so this is my project level process, project level workshop. So I can add images, I can add some dashboards here, right? So here, if you see, all the business process are listed on the left side pane, where the first I will discuss what are the process that are available, then we will see one of the process how it works. So here in cost manager, I have cash flow, cost sheet, and value sheet, as well as the funding sheet. Okay, then in budget we have initial budget, budget changes, budget transfer. In purchasing we have purchase orders as well as contracts, and in change management we have PO amendments and change orders. Then we have the payments, where you have the invoices, as well as payment application, payments, and your project delivery. So in project delivery, we have action items, minutes of meeting, risk issues, monthly updates, and when you go to design reviews, submittal, transmittals, right? So and you have document management, where you can have complete document management here in Unifier, where you can create different folder structures, as well as we have auto view 3D, where you can view your 3D drawings directly from here, and it supports nearly 400 file types. You don't require your native applications to open the files from Unifier. So when you have auto view 3D, you can directly view them in auto view 3D, and you can also put your comments, annotations, all these things you can do in using Unifier. Then your schedule sheet. A schedule sheet is where when you integrate it with the Primevera P6, you will get your schedule sheet. Now, firstly, let me open a couple of project delivery related process. Let me show how these fields look like, right? So when I go to a design review, let me show how the forms look like here in design reviews. So in design reviews, so what are the things that are required? So the title, reference ID, summary, material chip. So these are the different designs that are required for the design reviews. Then when I go to submittals, I will have different forms. So every business process, it has their own forms. What is submittal title, whether submittal are released or not, suffix, prefix, right? So if it is related to any package, you can track the package from here, right? And also the contact details, what is the latest revision of the submittals, and how we can link it to our P6 activity. Okay, so uh, whatever the process, the project delivery process I go to, I will have different forms related to that particular process, and routed to different people that are related to different people. So when I go to action items, I can assign this to different people, right? So now we will directly go to our cost controls from Unifier. Okay, so first I was talking about cost breakdown structure. So when I so the important thing is the cost breakdown structure should be flexible, where it should able to give you flexibility to define your cost codes based on your how you group your cost in your company, right? So you have these are the cost codes, these are the cost items that you might have, right? So at your site preparation, site basic site materials, right? All these things might be different cost codes, more what you might have. So this is a cost breakdown structure what you will have. And if you have any ERP, we can integrate it so that you can get your cost code or design your cost breakdown structure based on your ERP system. Okay, then in this cost sheet, you can track all the initial budget revisions. We'll come to this in a bit. Once we see other process, we'll come back to the cost sheet. So, right. So when I go to my initial budget, I have created a budget for this is first budget. So I can create my budget here. this is already created against the line items what I have here, right? So uh, so I have created some of the budget here, and let me show you, and I will create a budget change and show you how it tracks the changes that happened in for the budget. Okay, let us go back to the cost sheet. Let us see for one of the cost code. So now here there is a budget of 100. So the revised budget, the current revised budget is $100,000. So I want to do some budget changes where I want to increase the cost from 100,000 to 120,000. So when I create a budget change, right? So if I have any contact reference, I can use it. So I can see whether it is increase or decrease. I am increasing the budget, and here it shows me what is my original budget, what is prior to changes, what is my current budget, what are the pending changes. When I go to the line item, from here I can select I can select the cost code that is related to this budget. So let me select this cost code, as well as I need to put in some small description which is mandatory to know why we are doing this budget change. This budget is based on our categories, as well as we can also select some work packages. So let me put the quantity as 1 and unit of measurement each. So now I am putting 20,000, right? I am doing my budget change here. So if I want to link this budget change to any of the activity, I can link this activity, this from to the activity that I am getting from P6, right? So we have integrated solution, uh, Unifier and P6. We can integrate the solution and we can link this process to P6 as well. Okay, now save, send, submit. Okay, so I can if they are predefined, it will be available from here. If they are not predefined, I cannot choose, or you don't need to choose at all. For some of the process we can automate this, and it will be directly available to whom it will be sent to, right? Now I have sent this budget, so it will be waiting for the person's tasks in their project task list, so that they can approve. These are the pending tasks that need to be approved for me, right? So now I have created a budget change. When I go back to my cost sheet and refresh it, yeah. So here, so pending budget revisions is available here. So I can see it. So I see it from here. So how what is happening? So this is the base. This is the one which we have created now. BC02 is the budget change what we have created. It will list all the things, all the changes that is happening. So just now we have created this. So previously there are some other changes that are there against this particular cost code, and this is the budget. BC02 is the one what we have created for the 20,000. So it will track all the changes. So it has pending budget revisions. So once I approve it, it will be transferred to the approved, and it will affect my revised budget, right? So now there are no POs against this particular cost code. Now let me go and create a purchase order that is more than the current that is more than the budget, and see what happens. Okay, right. So I need to input PO number, which is I can input the PO number, effective date, and who I need to select who is the vendor, right? I can select the vendor, select. So based on the vendor, all the details will be populated automatically. I can select the P6 activity also here. Then when I go to my line items, right, I need to add the specific cost code, agreements, and spend category one each. Then I will be inputting the value. Let's say I am inputting, okay, so 100,001. So I have inputted more than my budgeted value, right? Now I am saving it. When I try to send this to approval, right, then it will throw an error that there is your budget is insufficient. So you have a trigger value. Why it has triggered? Because your budget is only 100,000, but your current value is 100,100, right? So because of this, it will not allow me to create the PO. Okay, so I need to either raise the budget change or I need to reduce my PO value. So this is how you get your control on your project cost. Okay, so all the rules are built in, and everyone has the same access, so only people with access can create the POs. And even though they have access, they will not be able to create more than the budget. If they want to change any budget, they need to raise the budget changes. Once they raise the budget changes, not everyone can approve it. It need to go through the proper workflow that need to be happen in the that need to happen, right? So so let's say that you want to create a PO. So I know that some of the POs in construction, they will have hundreds of line items, right? So for that case, you can export the excel template and create all your purchase related line items here, and then you can import them back, simply import them back into the application and create the POs as well as budgets. So for everything, there is an Excel import, export import templates available in the application, right? So this is how we control our cost. So now I have created a PO. That PO is already available. Then I can go to that PO and see what are the line items that are there in that PO, and right, and if there are any pending amendments against that PO, I can see. Okay, then when I see the approved amendments, I can see how much of the PO amendments are approved, and if there are any invoices also, I can see invoices from here, or I can create invoices directly from this page itself. Okay, so 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 all the related changes, the original, so you can see the original amount of the PO, what is the amendments, pending amendments, what is the changed amendments, right? So we can also add what is the current PO value and see what is the total PO cost, right? So we can do your budgets, budget, initial budget changes, transfers, your purchase orders, then your contracts, your PO amendments, and also so I can when I go to a PO amendment, when I click create, uh, so I need to select the PO that I want to do the amendment against, right? So when I select the PO, all the PO details, vendor details, everything will be listed here. I can input the detail, and I can see, I can send it for the approval, and I can also, right, let me go and show the line item. So add, I can select the existing line item and either add or reduce the quantity or the cost from this particular line item. So PO amendments, also the change of the control, project controls, we can track from here, right? So now we have seen how to create this, how to do this. Now when I go back to my cost sheet, this is where you can have your complete visibility into your project financial health, right? You have your initial budget, budget revisions, budget changes, then your approved POs, pending POs, approved amendments, pending amendments, and also the contracts, purchase orders, all these things you can track from here. And when you click on any one of these, you can also see from where these values are coming from, right? It gives you detailed drill down into all your financial stakeholders. When a project manager wants to see what is the financial health of the project, they can simply come here. What is the variance they can track, and also you can have estimated estimation net completion, estimated to complete, all these things, as well as your end value sheets, and also your cash flow sheets, what we have seen in the presentation. Similarly, we can develop. And when we integrate, the schedule sheet also will come from P6 directly to here. So you can have your P6 coming from your schedule sheet from here, right? All these things we can do it from here. So when a project engineer comes every day, he just log into one application, one integrated project control application, and do all project related cost control solution from here. Okay. So with this, I conclude my presentation today. So we'll open for any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Anand. So let me just go through the queries on the question area. Okay, first we'll go with the hands raise button. So let me open up Albrain. Can you unmute yourself so that we can position to hear you now? Albrain, Melbourne. Hello, are you there? It is self-muted. Can you unmute now so that you can talk? Okay, let me just go to the next person, Ankit. So you are unmuted. Now you
Yes.
can talk. Hi, Ankit.
Yeah. Hello. Thanks everyone. So I have a query that this module, how does it take care for the expenses project or typically in oil and gas industry or capital projects? So what I could look at, it is just giving an idea as a dashboard also. But can we have some kind of category of the projects inbuilt so that we can have intelligence and charts built up in that way?
Yes, sir. You can have different types of projects. You can have the projects when you create, you need to select a template. So we can have different types of template for your capital projects, your expense project, and you can define business process according to the type of project. Also, the cost breakdown structure also can vary from project type to project type, right? So we can configure all that using the different project types and different templates. That is possible.
Okay, thank you. And then so I'll just open up the next person, which is Ricky Jacob. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and you can talk actually.
Hi. How much money or time it will take for an organization to change to Unifier?
Uh, Sir, it depends. Typically, we will first come and do a small discovery study, and accordingly, we will recommend to the company. The minimum time period, maybe you can start with like 6 months. It may possibly take even 1 year, 2 year projects. Depends upon how big setup you would like to implement it. But minimum, you can consider about like 6 months or so.
Oh,
But
okay.
it
6 months
will
time
come
is
under a
required
study.
for
No, for the
no, six
complete
months time is
implementation and change over time. Study period will not take more than 15 days, of course.
no. My question is not clear. We are not using this Primevera Unifier or Oracle Unifier. So if our company is agreeing to use this, it will take 6 months for them to move to this software. That is what you're saying.
Correct. Correct. That's a minimum period. It may take even maximum, depends upon uh, how much business process you want to, implement and other stuff.
Okay, what will be the cost?
So cost also again it depends upon your requirement, sir. I will say it start with some minimum as even 120,000 dollars, but it will go according to the requirement, of course.
In dirhams, can you say in dirham?
It's half million dirhams. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sagar. I've just opened up your. Oh, once again, sorry. Abdul Azim, Mr. Abdul Azim. Yeah, yours is open. You can talk now. Okay, so he is also self-muted. So I'm trying Mr. Sagar again. Sagar,
Hello,
so yeah, all right. Yes, Sagar.
can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, a very good afternoon to you all.
Good
So
afternoon.
my question is, we can make schedules on Oracle Primavera P6, web-based or client-based, whatever, and it will be connected here with the Unifier. So we can able to edit the schedule here in Unifier also.
Yes, sir. You can edit, sir.
We can edit. We can make changes in the schedule in Unifier.
Correct, sir. You can do it. Yeah.
And and we can able to make schedules on Primavera also.
Yes, sir. You can do your scheduling, and so we have basically the schedule sheet where you can create your WAS activities and baselines, all these things here in Unifier. But it is not very comprehensive as P6. So for scheduling, we recommend P6. So, but
Okay.
when we integrate P6 and Unifier, we bring the schedule what you already have, what you already prepared, it will be directly coming here, and you can link your business process for your activities with your activities, so that you know what is the when you want to link, when you want to see what is the percentage complete, based on that you want to create an invoice. You can see that here in Unifier.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you, Sagar. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And then I'm going to read out few questions from this question area. How to link P6 schedule with the cost code? Srikanth is the one asked about this question. So, can you answer for this, please?
Yes, sir. We have a config. We have to do some configuration, and we can bring the CBS code with the activities in the P6 uh, through the integration. I mean, the integration with P6 and Unifier is a standard integration. Readily, it is readily there, and we need to do some configuration to achieve that. Yes, we can.
Okay, okay. Again, some project scheduling side, there is a couple of questions has been raised. So typically project scheduling, which it is going to be done in the Primavera P6 or Oracle Primavera Cloud, and we'll bring those informations into the Unifier for doing the project cost control. However, Unifier is also has a scheduling area. So for sometimes if you would like to go on to update here itself, you can do it. But the typical workflow is the planners, traditionally they use Primavera, so we don't touch it upon. We normally integrate the P6 with the Unifier. So the planners continue to work on this P6 with their scheduling area, and it can push to take the relevant required data into the Unifier. Today we mostly discussed on the Unifier. That's what we have not talked much on the scheduling side. So probably the next webinar or workshop, you could see that definitely we will be in a position to talk at different topics on the scheduling. So today is focused on the cost. So cost is basically the Unifier is a product is going to be much better for you, of course. I'll move on to the next question. Are the integration possibilities with the estimation software like CCS, RIB? Um, Yes, Jay is the one who asked it. The answer is yes, it's possible to integrate with the RIB tool because the Candy is also now with RIB and Costex is with RIB now. So I too is also with RIB. So there are 2 3 packages RIB has it. Yes, you can position it very well. They have the SQL database. We can link it to that and read the required information which you can take it back to Primavera Unifier. This is possible. There should need to have some middleware in between to read and map the data, but the possibility is there. Yes, it's possible, of course. Okay, the next question is, since we are working some control methods for past 40 years, once we change to Unifier, how we can integrate our old project records into Unifier? Vivek Pandian. Anand, can you answer for this?
Yes, sir. So when we are implementing Unifier, we will sit and identify and understand what are the current process what you have in regarding to your cost controls and change management, and we will try to automate those process. We will not be changing the process. We will have to automate this process, right? For any industry, when you have an invoice, this invoice need to have a PO, purchase order, right? So that purchase order should be linked to a budget. So these are the common standard practices what you have. But let's say that your organization have different process. We will first design what is the high level process flow of all your business process, and we can standardize this business process based on your requirements. Then we will implement the process into Unifier.
Yeah, typically, the Unifier is nothing but what are the process you have, the same process only we are trying to replicate in the system. But when there is a chance for automation, then you yourself can feel that current process can be improved much better. So when you suggest that changes, this process I'm doing because in manual this is the way it can be done. Now we have a better system. Can you automate to better extent? When you ask, we say yes, and we'll implement it. Of course, that's the way it goes into the product. So it's an open platform where, according to your need, your current comfort process, that important key points, the way you wants to implement, all this will be captured and put it into the system now. Okay. All right, team. I'll take a final one call maybe to close down this session. Okay, let me try to open up the mic for Mr. Umar. Yeah,
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, my question is that I don't understand. There's something I don't understand here. This Oracle Primavera Unifier. So is it inculcated in the pieces, or is it another separate thing entirely? Then how do we integrate it? How do we integrate this one with the Primavera? Also, what we do in Primavera pieces, can we do everything in Unifier so that we will not need anything? We will not need, we will not require to integrate anything anymore. I mean, in this Primavera Unifier, can we do all this scheduling that we do in pieces in it also? Is it possible?
We recommend to have P6 for your scheduling tool because P6 is a well-renowned, proven product. It's very much is there. Unifier is mainly focused on, cost control, and it do have a scheduling tool. I'm not saying no, but P6 is a product which is dedicated for your scheduling, and we can integrate and we can capture what are the data you want from P6 to Unifier. That we can very much do. P6 to Unifier integration is not a challenging job because of it's both from Oracle, both Primavera family. It's pretty easily take the data between these two products. So P6 is a comfort zone of scheduler, so scheduler can work with the same P6. Plus, it has an option, good option for you to do the monitoring the progress of the system or the projects what you are going to
Okay.
do it. So the duration in P6 cost control it's in Unifier. That's what we see.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks a lot for all the participants who came and attended this event, and we will be doing every month one on a different topic. So this time we took topic on cost control. So next month we'll come up with one more topic to have a little discussion on the same. Thank you for the team. Thank you. Bye.